video, which this book is Astrology by Marianne Williamson, and we are up to the first sign of the zodiac, which is Aries. So you are in Aries if you're born from March 21st until April 20th. Your personality, you're passionate, you're a fire sign ruled by action-orientated, take no prisoners Mars. Fire signs are usually forthright, energetic, and creative, with an unrivaled lust for life. As the first sign of the zodiac, you are a natural leader, a pioneer, a go-getter, who lets nothing get in your way. You are likely to be the first, and you play to win. You accomplish your goals fast, fearlessly, and furiously. And yes, you may run out of steam a little toward the end of more complicated projects. Natural enthusiasm. You prefer taking action rather than talking or thinking, and the more challenging a problem is, the higher its value seems to you. Your reactions are lightning fast, and you instinctively understand how to make things happen. This can make you a little impatient with more considerate types who like to look at pros and cons. Your natural assertiveness fires you up and gets you moving without delay. Why would anyone want to waste time discussing the details? You have stuff to do. There's fun stuff to be had. Spontaneous spender. In a world, cash goes out as fast as it comes in. If you're living in the fast lane, you need your money to be there for your spending. Saving is an alien concept because for you, money in the bank is just an adventure waiting to happen. You're an impulsive spender, and if you see something that makes you happy right now, why would you ever deny yourself? You are the splurge master, spending everything on a fabulous weekend, then living on breakfast cereal for the next month. Fast and furious. You're an energetic physical person, which has probably taken a toll on your joints over the years. Your daring antics in your younger years may have left more than their fair share of scrapes and bruises. But you wear your battle scars proudly. As far as you're concerned, the goal is to not get to the end in perfect condition. The plan is to have lived life as fully and intensely as possible. You prefer to be in charge, guns blazing, do your thing, and leave, which is great for dramatic effect, but not so impressive for tasks that require patience and stamina, or that are in any way boring. Paperwork, chores, and other necessary but dull activities tend to be left until they threaten to bury you completely. I can kind of understand that, though. Brave and uncomplicated, your courage is legendary, and that applies to matters of the heart as well as your physical powers. You're not afraid to speak out about how you feel, and because you're more inclined to be an extrovert, you usually find it cathartic to express your emotions freely. You accept your feelings readily without prejudice or analysis. You feel what you feel, and that's all there is to it. As a Mars-ruled individual, anger can sometimes boil to the surface, and you're no stranger to a good old-fashioned tantrum. But thanks to your emotional openness, your frustration tends to be explosive, short-lived, and frankly, quickly forgotten. But try to explain that to a mild-mannered Piscean whose hair stood on end while you scolded them for not holding the elevator. And I always say, as a Pisces, I find Aries to be a little bit difficult, especially Aries women. So I definitely resonate with that. Where others fear to speak, you say exactly what's on your mind. You may have a reputation for being a little tactless or abrupt, but you're also admired for your wonderful outspoken nature. You don't usually set out to intentionally offend anyone, but if you do say something jarring, you don't dwell on the consequences too much. More inward-looking sun signs might gasp in awe at the apparent ease in which you brush off misunderstandings, but you don't place too much importance on chit-chat. You say what most people are thinking and secretly wish everyone else would do the same. The world would certainly be a lot less complicated place if everybody were an Aries. It's funny because I have a lot of Aries women in my family, and I feel like that holds true. They do tend to say what they are thinking, and even if it's not always said in the nicest way, but sometimes you do appreciate a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you don't need, you say it like it is, you get your point across, we move on. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think that's a quality that I kind of like about the Aries, that they do speak their mind, say what they're thinking, or say what they're feeling, and they don't try to bottle it up or sugarcoat it. Honesty is everything. Handling other people's frustrations and anger is certainly a life lesson that you'll encounter, or maybe already have mastered. But you're hurt to the core if you discover that you've been lied to. In any way, you'd rather people just get plain angry or punch you, because then you would know what you were dealing with. Honesty is your superpower. So any signs of dishonesty in others can leave you feeling bewildered. Luckily, though, you're not usually a brooder, and you usually recover quickly from setbacks. Love and relationships. You love with childlike, uncomplicated joy. You don't have the patience for mind games, and you rarely waste time on somebody who cannot return your affections. You're open and honest about your feelings, and not subtle, which can be a little unnerving. But your uncomplicated approach makes you a refreshing, exciting person to be in love with. You can be a little bossy at times, but your partner doesn't see this at first because they're so caught up in your ardent, blinding affection. You need a strong other half who can match your energy and who won't be afraid of a challenge. Fall in love fast. You have had more than your fair share of experiences of love at first sight. After all, you're the first sign of the zodiac, and the first impressions mean a lot to you. You fall hard and fast with a burning desire, and you're usually the one who initiates contact. You're not shy about being forward, and you have a knack for knowing how to impress the person that you have your heart set on. Because you're not scared to approach people you like, you have many love relationships in your life before settling on someone special. You have a complete faith in yourself, but you take a while to feel sure about anyone else. As an energetic fire sign, your sex appeal is obvious, but this intense heat can cool quickly if your lover has a lazy streak or seems to be a pushover. When you decide that you really care about someone, you call off the dogs, and your chosen person will discover a very romantic soul who loves with uncomplicated innocence of a child. This one here is an Aries rising. Shh. Be quiet, okay? Shh. Independent lover. Even in your closest relationships, you're independent, free spirit. So sharing your life with someone else can feel a little daunting. Cooking for another person can feel like a big deal at first, not to mention sharing your living space and time. But if your mate understands and is willing to let you take charge, there won't be too many shouting matches. But if your partner starts to get clingy, you may have to have an adult conversation. You hate feeling vulnerable. Only a few carefully chosen people ever really get to see that trusting little child in you. But when you feel safe and loved and let your guard down completely, your confidence in others, love is a hard win. So if you feel taken for granted or disappointed in your partner, it can be devastating. A little naive sometimes, you can't imagine your lover would be anything but honest and open with you at all times. Manipulation just isn't your style. If someone does break your heart, your grief is real and raw. But because you are able to express yourself so sincerely, you process your emotions more quickly than other signs of the zodiac. Hey, keep it down back there. Ultimately, you're a fighter and you won't give up on love because you know you deserve it and your self-belief demands it. You may experience your fair share of romance and breakups, but that's because you're a tougher cookie than most. The universe knows that you can handle it. You may have an epic frog-kissing journey to complete before finding your prince or princess. But where there's a challenge in finding your true love right away, where is the challenge in finding your true love right away? That's true. You're not one to dwell on the past hurts, and eventually you see them as just milestones on your road as you battle your way to a victory in love. Quiet down back there. Shh. Most compatible signs. This is where I usually disagree. Because I feel like it has more to do with everything else that's going on in your chart, not just your sun sign. But this is what the book says. Most compatible signs would be Aries. You love a challenge, and another Aries can handle your lava hot passion without getting burned. Avery, quiet back there. Shh. Leo, you're both enthusiastic and energetic. Leos need to be admired, which you're happy to do as long as they don't mind you being a little bit bossy around them. Quiet. Shh. Libra, you're not intimidated by anyone, but there's something mysterious and magnetically appealing about your opposite sign of Libra. I do believe that. I believe that Aries and Libra, or most opposites, can have a great attraction. Your least compatible signs. Virgo, won't make love until the house is tidy and they've watched the news. Taurus, dislikes being rushed and doesn't like anything being uncomfortable, which rules out spontaneous desire. Avery, which rules out spontaneous desire to make love on the washing machine. Cancer, you just plain scare Cancerians who need to feel safe, secure, and understood before anyone is allowed to get close, and you don't have time for that. I probably would say that Aries and Pisces wouldn't be a very great match. If I had to put them with a water sign, I would put Aries with Scorpio, because they can both be very take charge. They can both be very fiery in their own way. Even though Scorpio is a water sign, they kind of run deep. But I would say that Virgo and Taurus would probably not be the best matches. I got to agree with that. Okay, work and career. You love to lead and you love to play to win. Skills that can make you a legendary boss, and ultimately that's where you're heading. But to get the position of the top banana, you also need to master a few workplace habits and skills. You tend to throw yourself into the deep end or enthusiastically plunge into new projects without wasting time, which is all very commendable, and your boss will appreciate your energy, but little preparation will go a long way when you get stuck aboard. Sharing with others. Let your colleagues know that you're available and willing to contribute. Everybody likes someone who pushes in and takes all the glory for themselves. Everybody. Nobody likes somebody who takes all the glory for themselves. Share your success and include your colleagues in your thinking. Then when you do encounter an obstacle that you have to deal with a difficult person, you won't feel like you're doing it on your own. Ram your way to the top. Your eagerness and boundless energy is admirable and will catch your boss's eye and keep you fresh in their mind. Not everyone is as ready as you to take on difficult challenges at work, and your innovative ideas will prove popular. You always have an answer, and you're often the one to kick off brainstorming sessions. When your employers trust that you can consider other people's opinions without arguing and take criticism without stapling their tie to the desk, you'll be worth your weight in gold to any organization. And when you do get to the top, which is inevitable, you can be the one calling the shots, and everything will fall into its natural astrological order. Ideal careers for Aries. Lion tamer. Come on, let's be realistic. Firefighter, ambulance driver, demolition expert, professional athlete, surgeon, first aid responder, police officer, soldier, ship's captain. I don't know about the lion tamer thing. I mean, let's be realistic. How many of us are going to be lion tamers? But okay. Compatible colleagues, Sagittarians. Genial, creative, and always full of good ideas that make you look good. Taurus, you need Taurians. They're easy to boss around, reliable, and thorough. All things that you're not. Gemini, you're not You're not big on details, but get on a Gemini's good sign and they'll type, talk, and look as if they're listening, organizing the Christmas party, making copies all at the same time. I'm a Gemini rising and I am definitely good at multitasking. Least compatible colleagues, Capricorn. They want to be the boss too, but they're sneakier or possibly even smarter about it than you are, and you're not happy about that. Pisces, dreamy Pisces just doesn't have enough urgency about them for you to believe they're ever going to get any work done. I don't agree because I tend to get a lot of work done. Although I do have to say that with her being a Capricorn with Aries rising, she's definitely going to be the boss of everything, including me, which is kind of scary. Aries, serious competition here, and you really admire their style, but there is no room at the top for two alpha rams. Well-being. The creative power of the sun has bestowed you with a robust constitution and well-athletic abilities. You excel at game sports and enjoy setting goals and smashing through your targets. You're usually a fast mover, but you're more of a sprinter than a long-distance runner. Ruled by energetic Mars, you put everything into your efforts, but run out of patience if things get too samey. Just challenging your daily commute or the grocery store run can give you a big lift. Favorite activities: boxing, trampolining, hot yoga, and running would be excellent activities for your boisterous sign. You're no couch potato, and you need to keep busy. I'm laughing because my sister-in-law is an Aries, and when we were at Lego Town, Legoland, whatever the hell it was called, there was a ride. My brother went on it with my older nephew. I went on it with my younger nephew. My sister-in-law stayed with Avery because she said it requires pedaling. You had to pedal to make the thing go up. She's like, it requires pedaling. I'm not doing that. Anyway, you need space around you and plenty of fresh air, and you don't care if the weather is bad. Exercising in snow, wind, and rain just adds to the challenge for you. You're not usually a team player, preferring the freedom of going at it alone, but it's different if we're talking about sports. You excel at any physical demanding team sports, and you're usually a key player. I believe that. Most other zodiac signs just can't catch your physical prowess, and eventually even you can't sustain the cheetah-like pace indefinitely because you use up so much energy. It's important for you to match the energy going out with the energy coming in by getting plenty of sleep. Food and drink. You have a very healthy appetite and burn calories fast. As a fire sign, you enjoy hot, spicy food and are not particularly fussy eater. My grandmother and sister-in-law, both Aries, not big fans of spicy foods. Anyway, fast food works for you as long as you balance it with enough activity. If you could, you'd eat out at a different place every day. You don't always have the patience to cook, and the thought of trying new cuisines is too tempting to miss out on. You're more of a street food fan than a candlelit dinner person, and you prefer to eat on the run and have a soft spot for buffets. Red meat, hot peppers, and curries are Aries' favorite foods, and you have a penchant for energy drinks. You're not moved by bland tastes. The stronger the better, but go easy on the caffeine and the coffee. You, more than most, need to switch off before going to bed. That's funny because my grandmother would always say she couldn't have coffee late in the day. She always had to have decaf, always decaf. So I agree with that. And something else that was interesting about my grandmother, this was my mom's mom, and my dad always used to say they always ate leftovers because she would get up early in the morning before she had to go to work. She would cook dinner, put it in the refrigerator, and then come home and heat it up. And my father just thought that that was atrocious. I felt like her food was okay. If you were to compare it to my dad's mom, it was atrocious. But my families, like my father's family, was very much Italian from Italy, whereas my mom's family was much more Bronx Italian, and my grandmother, that Aries grandmother, was actually from Brooklyn. So yeah, there were definite differences, like growing up wise. my grandfather's family, my grandfather was actually the only one in his family that was born here. The rest came from Italy. And my grandfather's first language was Italian. Um, where my mom's family, they were all born here. Like my grandparents were born here. My grandmother's father was born here. Her mom came here from Italy. Um, and I don't know how long his family was here before him. Anyway, so yeah, there was a difference in the way my grandmother's cooked, definitely. But I can understand it being a very Aries thing to have it done first thing in the morning and not do it at night. I could totally see that as an Aries thing. Also, getting up and doing things that needed to be done before the day got started. Whereas for me, you wouldn't first of all, I'm not a cook, but you wouldn't catch me up any earlier than I needed to be to do anything, except go out for a run. I would get up early to go out for a run, but I would never get up extra early to clean the house. Never had that kind of ambition. Um, but Aries is kind of stay on top of that, I feel. Anyway, if you're an Aries, comment below and let me know what you think. The next video will be on the second sign of the zodiac, which would be Taurus. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can add with Aries. I think the book pretty much well covered it. But if I think of anything else, I'll put it in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching. As always, if you like what we're doing here at the Magic Junk Drawer, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.